Hey, well, there you go, friends. Doc South here. And as you know, besides being a DJ, I work for a supermarket. Uh, Me and, whew, I guess what, maybe 50 people in the store as workers, I would think. Uh, and then you think of all the, that's the workers within the store. And then you got uh, there's a supermarket, at least one, maybe two or three in any given town. And in some of the cities, my gosh, they're everywhere. It's or along the highway. It's serving maybe two towns, two or three. It's amazing. There's quite a few. And I know one thing I am always very fascinated with is the amount of food that comes in to the loading dock every day. Now, I don't normally work on the loading dock. I mean, I've sometimes helped knock down a pallet, or not knock down, but that's what we call knocking down a pallet. Doesn't mean you run the forklift into the pallet, knock it over. You carefully take the boxes down, put them on these rolling platforms we call U-boats, and the stuff that has to go to aisle 5 goes on U-boat number 5. The stuff that has to go to aisle 10 goes to the U-boat that's set for whatever's on aisle 10. Takes a while to get used to um, what product, what box goes where, but after a while you get the hang of it. And but it's I there's days I'll walk through our store or someone else's store, some other company's store, and I am flabbergasted at the amount of food that's there. And it's it's there. And if I go to another store, basically the same thing will be in that store. Maybe slightly different products, maybe a different brand, maybe a different price, one compared to another, that kind of thing. But it's a massive amount of food. It would take a lot of tractor trailers to fill the place from scratch. That much I can tell you. And it's impressive. I mean, just the cardboard that we crush and then send out to, I guess, be restructured into more cardboard boxes will flabbergast you. There's two or three of them pallets of cardboard every day. It's If all of a sudden there wasn't tractor trailers, we'd be in a pickle because I don't know how the food would get to us. And then from there to the customers. But if you think about it, my gosh, just bananas alone, how many gazillion acres of bananas must it take to supply a store? And then think of all the stores, and they all got bananas. Heck, delis have bananas. Some ice cream stores have bananas for the banana splits, for crying out loud. There's there's bananas everywhere. But how can there be so many? I mean, someone must have like a plantation half the size of New Jersey to provide it all. You would think. I'm sure it's not quite to that extent, but you can imagine. Maybe it is though. I mean, I don't know. Has anyone ever figured out the square acreage, how many square miles it takes a banana plantation to to get us all fed? Bananas, just bananas. Then there's apples and oranges. I mean, we got at least a bushel of oranges in our orange display. In fact, more than that. It's got to be more than that. Might be 2 or 3 bushels. They had to come from somewhere. I was going to say they didn't just grow on trees, but no, in this case they did. But you see what I'm saying? Boxes of Cheerios or what? Wheaties. Yeesh. And you put it up on the shelf and give it a little time. You got to go get another box of Wheaties and stick that on the shelf. And then hamburger. Oh my heavens. And meat, all the different meats. Oh, yeah, and chicken. Gosh. And produce. Like you just it's amazing that that we that those of us, the citizens of this country, of this world, in fact, for the most part, seem to have enough to eat. I know there's some areas where there is poverty, but and low supplies of food. And that's that. But then again, a lot of times at a local I know our supermarket, and I imagine the others do too. I think we keep an area where we have stuff that's maybe got 1 day to go, or it's getting close to its expiration date. Sometimes a lot of that will go to various care centers, and it's divvied up real quick and sent out to the homes where people are somewhat broke, and it helps them. And they know they've got to eat it pretty quick, and indeed that's what they do. No, we don't send out stuff that's spoiled, but might be getting close. That's more like canned goods and the like. Again, boxes of spaghetti might be getting a little close to its date. Well, send it out to those who could really use it, and it won't hurt them a bit. In fact, it'll help them. So, I mean, but it must take, God, it must take how much of the world's landmass to provide all that food. It's amazing that we have so much. We really do. And it seems they seem to find ways to make the plants even healthier and provide more all the time. They seem beyond that. Oh, just amazing. I have said this before. I remember when I lived in North Carolina, passing, I think it was a watermelon patch, but it was like 5 miles by 4 miles of nothing but watermelons, or maybe cantaloupes. Or you pass an orchard where they're knocking out an insane amount of apples. One tree after another after another. You're driving for like 3 miles before and that's just one farm. And there were others where that one, they were neighbor farms that might have been bigger, or certainly of equal size, or slightly smaller, but still pushing out those apples like there was no tomorrow. I don't know. I kind of dig it, but when you think about it, it really, truly gives you pause. And you got to say, well, doggone, hats off to the food industry. They're really humping. It's the best way to put it, I guess. Oh, Lordy. Well, next time you sit down to a nice dinner, just look that over and multiply it by, you figure, at supper time in America, what do we got? How many millions of people in the country? They're all eating supper. That's a lot of dish soap. You get right, and toilet paper and food. I mean, it's insane. Wow, man. Well, we're lucky. We're lucky to have all that. That's for sure. Fortunate, if nothing else. Maybe it's not just luck, but we're might be divine. It might be divine providence, but we are blessed. Man, think of all that when you're saying grace next time. I'll see you later. God bless. Bye now.